Using our phones as wallets, can you believe it? So convenient, but is it actually safe? Let's dive into this and more in this deep dive on the future of finance and tech.
It's a question everyone's asking themselves. We'll unpack digital payments, AI, and cybersecurity, all while helping you separate hype from reality.
Okay, so first, let's talk about this digital wallet explosion. Tapping to pay is so easy, but how worried should we be about security?
Well, the Payments Journal highlighted some research that's a little concerning. Apparently, there are vulnerabilities with authentication in some digital wallets.
Yeah.
Like, someone could use your stolen card info, and they wouldn't even need extra verification.
Whoa, that's a big deal. And with platforms like Robinhood getting into crypto even more, it makes you wonder, are they up to speed with security? I mean, PYMNTS says they're allowing direct deposit and withdrawal of crypto in Europe now.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. Expanding into new things, especially something like crypto, means security has to be a top priority. Robinhood and other platforms, they've really got to be on top of it.
Right, it's kind of like you wouldn't build a fancy house on a foundation that's shaky, right?
Exactly. You need a strong foundation. And that's a good reminder. Just because something's convenient doesn't mean you can forget about security.
Okay, so speaking of things that are changing fast, AI. It's everywhere. Are we all going to have robot overlords soon? Maybe that's a bit dramatic, but seriously, how do we make sure AI is ethical and safe?
It's a big question. And the good news is that governments are paying attention. There's a real push to create ethical guidelines and regulations around AI.
Like Malaysia, they're putting in place a new cloud policy and AI rules. Reuters says it's all about ethical use, data security, making sure everyone's included.
That's huge, seeing a country take those steps.
Yeah.
And it's not just happening there. The U.S. Department of Justice, according to the Wall Street Journal, wants companies to consider the risks of AI. Like, they're saying this AI stuff is powerful, so be prepared if things go sideways.
Which is smart. I mean, AI is being used for everything. And one thing that really stuck out from that Wall Street Journal article is that the DOJ is really pushing for a culture of whistleblowing when it comes to AI development. Like, they're almost expecting things to go wrong, and they want people to feel okay about speaking up.
It's a really interesting point. It shows how important it is to think about risk management with AI right from the beginning. It's not just about fixing problems. It's about preventing them and making sure everything's transparent.
It's like they're saying, don't wait for the robots to take over before we make some rules. But you know what else keeps me up at night? Cybersecurity. Seems like every day there's a new hack.
It's true, we live in a connected world, but that also means more vulnerabilities. As tech gets more advanced, so do the ways people try to exploit it.
Like that cryptojacking attack Hacker News reported on. They hijack your computer and you have no idea, and they're using it to mine crypto. It's like digital theft, but sneakier.
And what's worse, this one targets cloud systems. So as more companies rely on the cloud, this could have a huge impact.
Okay, that's scary. And it's not just companies, right? Forbes had this crazy stat, 86% of people with broadband haven't changed their router password from the default.
It just shows you can have all the security measures in the world, but human error is still a weak point.
Okay, confession time. I'm totally guilty of using the same password for, like, everything, but changing them is such a pain.
I get it, it's on your to-do list, but never feels urgent. But think about it. A few minutes of changing passwords is way better than dealing with a cyber attack.
True, true. It's like you wouldn't leave your front door unlocked. Right, same idea.
Exactly. You got to protect your digital life just like your physical belongings.
So in this constantly changing landscape, how do we even keep up with the bad guys?
Well, cybersecurity pros are on the front lines, but Tech Radar highlighted they're often overwhelmed and under-resourced.
Sounds like they're fighting a losing battle sometimes.
It's tough, for sure. But there are some positive things happening. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, they're being more proactive. Forbes talked about how they're identifying vulnerabilities like in some D-Link and Draytech routers and telling people to fix them right away.
That's good, but hold on, what even is a zero-day vulnerability?
Oh, right. So basically, it's a flaw in a system that hackers find before the developers even know about it. Imagine a secret entrance to your house that you never knew existed. CISA, they're like the neighborhood watch, letting everyone know to lock up tight.
Okay, they sound important. So we've got digital wallets, AI, cybersecurity. It's like tech is changing everything about finance so fast. And then there's crypto, which is like a whole other world.
Definitely. And like any new tech, we're seeing a big push for more regulation and compliance in crypto.
Yahoo Finance had a good article about this. They basically said, for crypto platforms, following the rules isn't optional anymore. It's about building trust with users.
It's about growing up, basically, moving from the Wild West to a more mature market.
And that brings us to the SEC, right?
Yeah.
They are not messing around when it comes to crypto companies breaking the rules.
No, they're serious. CoinDesk reported on a case where a judge sided with the SEC against this crypto wallet company, Rivets. They were selling stuff without proper registration, so the judge actually said, nope, you have to follow the same financial rules as everyone else.
The SEC means business. No more gray areas.
Yeah, the message is loud and clear. If you want to be in the crypto world, play by the rules.
But it's not all bad news in crypto, right? Remember FTX, that huge meltdown? Well, looks like they might be staging a comeback.
It's true. The block said most of their creditors agreed to a reorganization plan. It's pretty amazing, actually, and it shows even after a big crash, things can bounce back.
Crypto is definitely full of surprises, that's for sure. It really is unpredictable, that's for sure. But, it's not just tech companies trying to keep up with all this. Even traditional banks are having to adjust.
Absolutely. It's a whole new world for them. AML Intelligence had this piece about Rabobank, the big Dutch bank, and they're actually bringing a lot of their compliance stuff in-house.
Really? So instead of outsourcing it, they're building their own teams.
Yeah, they want that internal knowledge.
Makes sense, though. To succeed in this whole finance tech mashup, you got to know the rules of the game inside and out.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's not even just knowing the rules, it's being ready for them to change, which, let's be honest, happens all the time in tech. It's like what we've been talking about this whole time. Staying informed, thinking ahead, being ready to adapt.
Wow, we covered so much. Digital wallets, AI, cybersecurity, crypto. It's crazy how connected finance and tech are becoming.
Totally. And with that comes a lot of opportunity, but also some risks. Like we saw, these advancements can make our lives easier, but they can also make us vulnerable if we're not careful.
Lots to think about. So if you had to pick one big takeaway, what should people really be paying attention to as we head into this future of finance and tech?
I think the biggest thing is remembering we're not just watching this happen, we're part of it. Every choice we make as individuals and as a society is shaping how this all plays out. So be curious, stay informed, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
I love that. So here's a final thought for everyone listening. As you go about your week, think about this. How could all of this change your relationship with money in the next 5 years? Will you be investing in crypto? Will AI be managing your retirement fund? Or maybe you'll be the cybersecurity expert keeping everyone safe online. The possibilities are pretty mind-blowing.
Exciting times ahead, that's for sure.
Absolutely. The future of finance and tech is full of potential. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. Until next time, stay curious.